As has become a regular feature of the Scary Alvarez podcast, every new episode becomes a test of my DJ skills that I've been working with Kelvin Harris on. And that fade, I will say, it's probably in the upper half. You guys think that fade was all right?
It's great.
Okay, appreciate it. Good to see. You guys are excited as I am about it. Well, anyway, I'm Scary Alvarez, Wine Island Enjoyer, Sherry Wine Destroyer, Jake Ferguson's grandpa, and Cindy's Plus When She'll Have Me. And it's a historical day for the podcast, as this is my first Badger women's basketball show. Today we'll be talking to Badger Hoopsters Ronnie Porter and Halle Douglas, and you all are jumping on with me today, which leads me to the conclusion that you've never actually watched the podcast before. So thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's start off by having, and Ronnie, we'll start with you. Each of you introduce yourselves and give my audience a few things they should know about you. Obviously, I'm going to have a lot of questions going forward, but just kind of some background to get us started today.
Well, my name is Ronnie Porter, sophomore guard from St. Paul, Minnesota. As of right now, I'm studying in family studies to possibly become a social worker. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, that's just a little about me.
Cool. Hey, Ronnie, you're either a ventriloquist or I'm. Looks like your picture is frozen there. Is that a glitch on maybe my end, or do we know what's going on with that?
I don't know. I'm moving on mine.
Okay. Hey, how does that look? Does it look like it's moving?
Yeah, Ronnie P is frozen on my screen too.
Okay. Well, interesting. I do not have my unpaid intern Joe Ferguson. You're helping me with technical stuff today. Um, Ronnie, is there any way you could jump out and then jump back on? Or here, let me do this. Let me remove you from the stage, Ronnie. If you get bumped, just sign back in again like you did before. We'll try it. We'll try it again. I can edit this. Hey, wait. There we go. We're good. Yeah, got it. Anyway, thank you, and Halle, give us a little bit about yourself, and tell my audience what brought you to the Badgers.
Yeah, my name is Halle Douglas. I am a senior from suburbs of Chicago. I'm from Lake Forest, Illinois. I'm studying marketing here at Wisconsin. And yeah, what brought me to Wisconsin, I grew up a Badger, so I'm a huge Badger fan. I've always wanted to play here at Wisconsin.
And I will say, I did some research myself beyond what Joe did, and your pop, Billy, played for the Badgers. Is that correct?
He did, yeah, my dad.
That's awesome. And I did a little more research, and I looked at your 3-point percentage this season is 41%, and his career 3-point percentage is 39.7% for the Badgers. So you got him right now.
Wait, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, glad I could help. That's good stuff. I remember he was on some of those Steve Yoder teams that were right on the verge of breaking through before Stu Jackson got into town, and I remember he had an absolute sweet stroke from the outside. So say hi to Billy for me.
I will.
Appreciate it. Ronnie, I hear you're from the Twin Cities, St. Paul. How awesome has it been to play in a state with an NFL team?
It's great, but like we got too many ups and downs there. So I mean, some days it's okay to support our NFL team, and some days it's like kind of embarrassing. But I mean, the Twin Cities is great. Vikings, amazing. Some days, some days not. But yeah, it's great to be from the Twin Cities.
Okay, have you become a Packer fan yet?
No, never.
Now we've got some work to do. We can do this. That's good stuff. And Ronnie, not to get too far afield here of basketball stuff, but if I were to say the name PJ Fleck, what would that mean to you?
Um, Not really too much. I mean, I've heard of them, but I don't really like get a lot of comparisons. So if that's like a something to compare me to, I don't really hear it a lot.
Oh no. I promise you, Ronnie, I will never compare you to PJ Fleck, and that is a good thing. So Obviously, and Halle, you tipped your hand that you've been a big Badger. Are you also a Packer fan, or are you a Bears fan?
I'm a Bears fan.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How long have you had that problem?
Um, yeah, it's sad, but been my whole life just big Bears fan. My whole family. My mom's actually a big Packers fan, so it's kind of a little bit of a house divided. But I'll cheer for the Bears, and one day they'll get back, and it'll be great.
It's tough that the rent checks that used to go to Aaron Rodgers are now going to Jordan Love from Chicago. So that's you just keep an eye on that going forward. But actually, it is an exciting draft, given that the Bears have the number one pick, and what is it going to be? Marvin Harrison Jr. Is it going to be Caleb Williams? I've had some thoughts on that as a Packer fan, but I just hope whatever it is you sign Justin Fields to a long term contract. That'd be awesome with me.
You know, I think the Bears will turn it around someday soon. It's coming. They're due.
Absolutely. In 1985 was the last season they won the Super Bowl. Trying to think how many negative years that would make you at that point. 1985, negative 20 or so. Can't even do the math on it.
Negative 17. Is that the right math?
Okay. Well, there you go. You can always watch the grainy YouTube videos.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
but Hallie, we'll start with you this time. Besides the Packers or the Badgers, in your case, what made you ultimately choose University of Wisconsin for your basketball career?
So obviously, I said I grew up a Badger fan. My whole family is kind of Badgers through and through, and so that kind of was one of the big deciding factors. But I really wanted to be a part of Wisconsin basketball, and it was hard because Wisconsin basketball, the women's side of it, there wasn't really. Was in a very big rebuild, and we've been trying to rebuild for years now. But I just really wanted to be a part of something special and have the chance to really change this program around so that, I am a Badger fan and I always will be a Badger fan in the next, as I grow up and stuff like that. But I want to be able to say I came to Wisconsin and gave this program everything I had to try to change it.
That's great. I love it. Ronnie, what brought you to Madison?
Like Callie said, like the program wasn't really like too big in like Wisconsin sports period. So just wanted to come and like make an impact and also leave one. I think it's important now in like women's basketball that like we all like understand that the sport is growing on the women's side and wanting to be a part of that. And we've been making history this year and some last year. So I think being a part of that is just really what I wanted from the jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think even to the casual observer, the casual fan of the Wisconsin women's basketball program, there is something different about the program now than a few years ago. There's an energy and the way that the team plays, the way you all approach the game. And Ronnie, I know you made reference to some big games. I know yesterday was a tough one with Purdue, but I have been checking in and seeing y'all winning some really nice games this season. Uh, Ronnie, what's your favorite game so far this year?
Favorite game this year, maybe by far Penn State. Beating them was probably the best game any Badger fan has watched since basketball here in Madison.
Yeah, that was a good one. I know that, and it was just a couple of weeks ago, right? I know they were coming in, I think 7-4 in conference, and you guys were down, I think, and then had a big second half, if I remember correctly. Is that sound right? What does that kind of win mean for a team like Wisconsin that's fighting to kind of get to that next level?
It just shows that we can compete. Like a lot of people don't see the hard work we put in, like in the gym, and that game really showed that regardless of the score, we were down like 20 points. Like we're not one to give up, and we're going to compete regardless of who we're playing, whatever name is on whatever jersey we're playing. And that game really just set the mark for us. And ever since then, I feel like we've all like had a shifted mindset of we can compete with anybody in this country.
I love it. Yeah, I think there was a time where, and hell, I'll get to you in a second, where in not so recent past, Wisconsin basketball is considered kind of an easy out for a good team. I mean, they're not, look, it doesn't mean you guys aren't going to have tough games. I mean, you're in a conference with Iowa and Ohio State, Michigan State. There's some real powerhouse teams in the Big Ten right now. But I don't think anyone plays Wisconsin thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a walk in the park." Halle, does that sound accurate? And if so, how does that look for the future of the program?
I don't know the mindset of teams coming to play us, and that definitely probably was what they were saying in the past. And even if they say it now, it's I think just basically in this past year we've really proven that every game in the Big Ten, even if you're playing Wisconsin, it's a tough game, and we're really trying to, and we are turning this program around where we can, as Ronnie said, we can really compete with anyone, and that just really shows like in the future, like this is just like one step towards like the goals we're trying to reach. And we're just continuing to prove that like Wisconsin women's basketball is a program that you want to remember and you're going to want to come watch.
Yeah, that's all well said too. And what is it about Coach Mosley specifically that should give Wisconsin fans confidence in the future of this program? Clearly, he's won you both over and the members of your team, and there have been things on the court that have shown it. But what makes her unique to the challenge of rebuilding this program and then taking it to the next level?
I think one of the things about her that is so special is she's just so hardworking. Like she will do everything she can to help us, help the staff, help recruit, everything she can to help turn this program around. So I think having a leader like her, where she's literally giving everything that she can to this program, really instills confidence in us and the program in itself.
Ronnie, I'm sure you probably echo some of those sentiments, but as far as Coach Mosley, what makes her uniquely situated to embrace the challenge of taking Wisconsin and turning it into a really, really good basketball program?
I think her just taking the challenge to making this team and the culture of this team better, what makes her unique. I don't think there's like a lot of coaches out there that would really want to take this job, like especially where this team was when she first took it. And not once has she given up or took a step back to the fact that we're not winning games or we're not performing the right way. And she wants to battle. She wants to play. And if she could get on the court, I believe she would. So I think that just makes her a coach that a lot of people will want to play for.
Yeah, it's good to hear that because it's one thing to have results on the court. It's another thing to have the players believe in the program and the system, and that is a really important thing that I think is a real positive from last year to some extent, but even more so this year. What we're seeing from the basketball program. Ronnie, well, I have you. I I do some background stuff on, and I noticed that you're around 5'4". You're probably shorter now because you're sitting. But how could you be the second leading rebounder on this team? How do you make that work?
Um, I really like. I just want to go get it. Like, if there's a chance where the ball can be in my hands, I'm gonna go get it. And I think a lot of people just don't box me out, so it makes it easier for me. Um, and we have a lot of great rebounders on the team, and when they can't do it, I feel like it's my duty to do it for them. And it also helps our team. But I also find it fun because then when I do rebound, other coaches aren't really happy about it, so that actually like pumps me up a lot more.
It's great. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it isn't always the tallest or the person with the biggest vertical or whatever who leads the team in rebounding. A lot of times it's the thinker who puts themselves in a position to get that rebound, and that seems to be a lot of you just know where to be. You know where that ball's coming off the basket. I think that's great. Um, I'm going to get back into Wisconsin specific things in a moment, but I want to raise an issue for you that's a basketball issue that's kind of come to the forefront. I don't think it's probably been a huge issue necessarily yet, but it's something that could happen. Let's say you knock off an Iowa or something next season at home, the court storming. So, over the course of the last few weeks, there have been a couple of incidents where players have there's physical contact with fans and players. Filipowski, and before that was Caitlin Clark. And I want to tip my hand here. I want to be very clear that I'm a big pro court storming fan. I mean, there's no. I think it's a huge part of the fabric of college basketball. I also am a part of a fan of safety for the players. So, what I want to get starting with Halle. What is your? I'm getting that right. It's Halle, not Haley.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry, my voice.
What is going on? You fighting off a bug?
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry to hear that. You know who's going to win? It's going to be you. I feel very strongly you're going to come on top. But anyway, getting back into give us your feelings on this. And there's no right or politically correct answer for this. I just let me set this up even more. There's been a backlash today or the last few days for members of the media, not necessarily bad people, but just people who I don't, the Duke people and who you think this problem or this situation had just popped out of nowhere. This has been going on for 50 years, court storming. And there's not been some epidemic of player injury. There's not been some, but people like to seize upon things. So I just kind of want to get your thoughts as players, as people who might experience this, who might be in the middle of one of these rushes, these court storms in the future, what your thoughts are on this. And Halle, start us off and then we'll go to Ronnie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it sucks that like people are getting injured from a situation like this, and that's obviously not what we want to happen. But as you said, I think court storming is just a huge part of college basketball culture, and I think it's a cool thing that it draws fans in. Like fans come to these huge matchup games where they're cheering for their team to pull off an upset, and then they get to go celebrate with the teams. And I think it's a really cool experience for fans that like that's what they're going to remember about a team. Like they're like, I was at that game where we stormed the court. And I think that's getting rid of that is just taking away some of the fun and like for our fans and even players like getting to celebrate on the court. I think it's just a cool thing that I think maybe we can do a better job of the losing team getting off the court. I feel like we could be just like aware of people storming the court and just getting out of the way quicker. But I think it definitely should not be taken away from college basketball.
Well said. Ronnie, what are your thoughts on this?
I enjoy watching people storm the court. I am not against it. I think there are some things that could be done better to prevent people from getting hurt or whatever the problem is. I just think the biggest problem is that people don't really expect to lose to teams, and when the court storms happen, like they're kind of just like not really expecting it to happen, but it does. And I think it's fun. I think the culture of it is great, and hopefully one day we experience that as well. But I'm for it. Sorry for all the people that's gotten hurt, but taking it away will only like hurt the game of basketball.
Well, I think you both raise similar and also very good points. And again, I want to make sure I'm not stating this incorrectly. If someone gets hurt or someone has been injured, I'm not trying to make light of that. What I'm trying to say is this has been happening for 50 years. If there had been some sort of epidemic of players being injured because of court storming, we would have known about it before it happened to Duke or the most popular player in women's basketball. It's just sometimes whose ear you get when you are those players. And again, nothing against the Duke coach or Filipowski. I don't like Duke. I'll be honest with you. They're my least favorite program, but that is not where I'm coming from here. I'm not trying to, say they're not doing the right thing by each other. That's fine. They can say what they want, but I don't remember any of them screaming about this before a couple of days ago. So suddenly we have this problem, in quotes, that's happening that everyone knew was happening. It's only a problem because it just happened to that team. I thought they were a little bit sad about losing a game they probably shouldn't have lost, and that probably didn't help anything. But Halle, you brought up a good point. I think maybe instead of freaking out about this and banning court storming or trying to, maybe we just have a situation where we take a beat, give the opposing team a couple of seconds to that seems very reasonable to me to get off the floor. I don't think anyone, but we have to ban this now because people are getting hurt. It's just I think it's a lot of theater. I'll be brutally honest with you. So that's my take on it. A lot of my listeners are big Wisconsin men's basketball fans. I have some of those players on here too. Ronnie, starting with you, pick a player on the Wisconsin men's team that your game is the most similar to, if there is one.
Well, actually, uh, I think I could say maybe Chucky, just like on the facilitator end, but Cam before he was injured, obviously, I think we played like a lot. So actively Chucky, but because Cam's hurt, it would be him, but Chucky now.
Gotcha. Y'all ever play one-on-one?
No, our I don't think our coaches will allow that.
Okay. Well, let me know. I guess that wasn't a sneeze, but I'll say bless you anyway. Ronnie, I'm going to be cagey about who I'd put my money on if y'all played, but it's probably you. But anyway, okay. Well, we'll see what we can do about that postseason. Halle, who would be the closest analogy on the Wisconsin men's team to you in your game?
It's a tough question. I would say I've been trying to think about it. I would say, in a sense, like a mixture of people. So I think like Tyler Wall, in the way that he kind of plays, like he's just like a smarter basketball player, kind of just makes right reads, stuff like that. And then a mix with like Max, where he kind of just is always like trying to do the little things, getting a touch on or getting deflection on defense, or getting a board or something like that. Just trying to do the little things.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And Tyler, I'm so excited that his sixth grade twins can stay up and watch those Badger games. And he's been around the program a long time, so it's exciting they can see their dad finally graduate this year. He's not only their dad, he's also a Minnesota Gophers dad too. So sorry, Ronnie. By the way, were you a Gophers fan growing up?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, that's okay. This is a safe space. We're all friends here. We can admit that. That's okay.
She grew up though, became a Badger fan, so she's fine now.
Yeah, absolutely. We basically you saw the error of your ways, and this may have happened organically, even if you had not played at Wisconsin. You might just have said, let's switch this up.
Yeah.
Which teammate, besides the two of you, because it could be either or, on the Wisconsin basketball team, is the funniest person in the locker room / would make the best future Scary Alvarez podcast guest? Who keeps it light?
So if you're asking the funniest person,
Yeah.
Ronnie P wins that vote. She's
okay.
Yes, you just got to get it out of her.
Pressure's on, Ronnie. You have 3 minutes. Please do a stand-up set starting right now. You're on.
I think Sarah Williams, obviously, like on the court, she'd be fun to talk to just because of how great of a season she's having. But she has a big personality too. That would be fun to talk to.
Yes, Sarah. By the way, as an aside from this, you said that correctly. Not that there aren't other members of the team who are having great seasons, but what an underrated, tremendous, incredible. I remember correctly, averaging about 18 and 10 or 18 and 11. Does that sound about right? I mean, that is so hard to do in the college game. I think she is just one of the most outstanding players in college basketball, and it's been fun to watch her this year.
Yeah, fun to play with.
I can imagine. Ronnie, as the funniest person on the team, who would be the second funniest person on the team if you had to give? And you could say Halle just to be nice because she seems like she's fun. But is there anyone not on this podcast that you'd say, hey, if I were Scary Alvarez running this podcast, here's who I would want on the next one?
Okay, I have two people, but I think if I needed to laugh in in the weirdest moments, it would definitely be Halle. Yeah, by far. But other than that, either Sarah or Lena. Lena is actually really funny, but yeah, Halle and Lena might be my top two. Sarah's top three, but Halle and Lena top two.
Okay. Well, we'll get Lena and Sarah on the next one, and then we'll have all four of the top comics on the team in the first 2 episodes. Allie, what's your favorite place to play on the road?
My favorite place on the road is Purdue. Rough experience this year, but over the past few years, I just love that gym, and I always have fun playing there.
Yeah, they play in Mackey, I presume. Okay,
Yeah.
that's I mean, just seeing this, that's a special place, very very historical site, and not an easy place to win. I mean, that is a very big home court advantage for those teams. Ronnie, how about you? Favorite place to play outside of Wisconsin, Madison?
Um, Probably Minnesota.
Gotcha. And that they play in something as you were called the barn. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What a interesting place. So that's a complex and old. It's got to be at least 100 years old. And there's a basketball gym in one half of it, and I believe the Mariucci is attached to it in the other half, the hockey arena.
Yeah, because I played like state basketball there, so there's like two different gyms in one arena, I guess.
You know what scares me about that place is that someone's gonna fall off the side of that court. For those who don't know, it's a raised court, kind of like Vanderbilt's, and I'm not sure how it's like a pro wrestling fall. It's like it's pretty far down, right? You're kind of peeking over the edge when you're on the sidelines. What's that like playing on that?
I'm all for like the stuff like that. Like, oh my God, I can't fall.
Yeah. Okay.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
But I fell off of it a couple times before, and it wasn't as bad as it seems. I don't want to, tell other people to fall off because I don't know how their results would be. But I mean, I like being dangerous, so it's cool to me.
I do too. That's why I have my own jets and my Caribbean wine islands and my DJ festivals. You look like you might be frozen, or else you're very very stoic with your expression. I'm not sure how you fixed that last time, but we'll keep pushing it forward. I think you just shook your phone or something, but there you go, got it. I still use a first generation BlackBerry as my phone, so I'm not sure if you guys know what that is even. Who are the Badgers? Keep it with you, Ronnie. Who are the Badgers' biggest rival in basketball?
I think because of the border battle, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, that sounds logical. I think the men's basketball team might say the same thing. Halle, is that square with you?
Yeah, I agree. Usually Minnesota.
Gotcha. Outside the Gophers, who would it be?
I'm trying to think. I would say in past years, we've always competed well against Purdue. It's been like we've gone back and since the time I've been here, we've always gone back and forth. This year is obviously that was difficult, but like they're the type of team like I'd want to play again, and like now it's like I want to go beat them. So I don't know if Ronnie agrees, just because over the past 4 years they've kind of been the team like we got to go get a win, and it's always a good game.
Right, Ronnie. I mean, Alex says Purdue. Does that sound right, or is there another team that you're always itching to play?
Oh no, it's Purdue. It's definitely personal now.
Okay, well that's good. And again, I mean, we've been alluding to the game yesterday, and a loss is never fun, especially a home loss. But that doesn't mean that what happens in that game can't be fuel for future games and build a budding rivalry, as you both are describing. And I'm sure, who knows, may see even the tournament. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios where you get some redemption from that last game, and I'm certainly rooting for you on that. Okay, we're gonna finish up here. We're almost done. We're on final descent. I like to do word association games with all my guests, where I say a name or a couple words, and I want each of you to say the first thing that comes to your mind, especially if it's funny or moderately embarrassing. Doesn't have to be. It can be very mundane too. And I'll kind of go. We'll do a snake draft here. Halle, I'll start with you. Caitlin Clark.
Basketball. I just say
Gotcha.
a word, right?
Yeah, a word or phrase. Yeah, absolutely. That is, you did absolutely the right thing. You followed the instructions. You may elaborate if you choose. That's fine.
Okay.
Ronnie, Caitlin Clark.
Basketball.
Okay. We'll accept those answers. You both pass. Ronnie, Coach Mosley.
Energy.
Okay, that's good. And Haley?
I would just feel like funny. Like she's, when I think of her outside of basketball, I just think she's funny.
Well, a little bit of inside baseball here. Um, there was a moment not so long ago where we thought she might be coming on this with us, and she had something else to do today. Not sure, oil change or something. But we'll get Coach Mo. Assuming this goes okay, and you guys are positive emissaries for this experience. We'd love to have her on. It'd be a lot of fun. I think we already talked about this before, but let's do it one more time. When I say this name, what do you think? The Minnesota Gophers. Ellie.
Like we were just probably just talking about this, but like rivals, like I want to go play basketball when you say that. Like I want to go play them and go beat them.
Awesome. Love it. Ronnie, Minnesota Gophers.
A mirror, like replicas of us. I think they're like a very like one of the only teams we played at. I feel like kind of like we balance each other out. It's like a replica.
Gotcha. They're always very competitive games. And finally, Ronnie, I'll stick with you on this one. Jake Ferguson.
Who?
Yikes. Let's pass. We'll give you a pass for this one. We'll let you build in a second. Halle, I'm gonna you're my only hope left on the show. Jake Ferguson.
Wisconsin football. I'm trying to think. I don't really, nothing else really comes to it. I don't know where he's playing. He's still playing, right? I don't really know where he's at.
Yeah. I forget sometimes how long Jake has been gone from the band. Jake, of course, is my grandson. How long Jake has been gone from the program. And I know you're both are a little bit younger. Jake is now starring in the National Football League for the Dallas Cowboys. So feel free to share that information with the. I'm sure Jake is probably going to be the biggest, most favorite football player on the entire Wisconsin women's basketball team now going forward. He's an ex-Badger. The kid just does it the right way. Good stuff. I want to thank both. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I see his pictures around the football facility all the time. I'm just not good at putting face with names.
Yeah, he's a Badger legend, and also from Madison Memorial High School, where sometimes people who do podcasts are also from there. But anyway, thanks to both of you for your time today, and congratulations on your season so far. I know there's a lot of work left to do, so good luck with everything, including into the Big Ten tournament. And don't be a stranger. Love to see you guys back on the show and give my best to Coach Mosley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes.